Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, Scotland is going to have a lot of visitors this year because, obviously, with Police Scotland no longer going to be investigating minor crimes, there's going to be a lot of criminals from England going up north of the border in order to commit more crimes, knowing that not only are they likely to get away with it, but the police won't even be investigating it. It's going to be a charter for criminals. And of course, Scotland's got its own criminals. They'll be free to move and groove and take whatever they want. It will be like the Wild West. But actually, it's going to be a lot worse than what the police say. They're talking about only the minor crimes. But of course, when all of them are now tied up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just dealing with the hate crime reports, you're going to get away with a lot more than minor crime. Nobody will have the availability to go and investigate anything. Sometimes I think even serious crimes may be problematic. But then, this is the bright idea of Humza Yousaf. Let's not investigate real crime. Let's just investigate crimes where someone has a hurty fee or a man said a bad word. It's going to be fun. Let's have a look, because the police themselves are being incredibly shady about what's going on, and they won't release what the thresholds are. It just gets worse, doesn't it? Here goes. Secretive Police Scotland admits criminals could get major advantage over policy not to probe all crimes. Now, there is a reason for this, what they're saying, because the force announced earlier this year that it would not investigate all crimes, but they've now refused to publish a list of what offences they won't be looking into. Officers will be being forced to probe every alleged hate crime, but they're not saying what crimes they won't look at. They're saying if they publish them, it'd just be a charter. But here's the thing. The law is the law. The law should be clear. There should be no unambiguousness. You should be aware of what you can and you cannot do. Where there is any doubt or any uncertainty, you're in a position where the case is, you'll find out what the rules are once you've broken them. That is not a law. That is a dictatorial state imposing, I suppose, instant karma justice. It's not right. You should know what you are permitted to get away with, what the limits are. It's the old 10% plus 2 miles an hour over the speed limit kind of thing. It is very, very odd that they won't do it. Let us, the public, know what criminals are likely to try and get away with, and we, the public, can then make mitigation against it, perhaps. But when nobody knows what the level is where the criminality will be investigated, then it's a grey area. You don't want grey areas in law. Secretive Police Scotland has admitted that criminals could be given a major tactical advantage if it publishes guidance on what crimes will no longer be investigated by officers. Cops are rolling out this policy across Scotland after apparent success in the North East. It will mean that some minor crimes, such as garden theft or car vandalism, will not be probed if there is no line of inquiry. Is to say, no witnesses or evidence, and it's been claimed this frees up resources to hunt down lawbreakers over major offending. I claim that no such thing will happen because every cop will be too busy going on about the hurty fees, and that's what we intend to happen for at least the first week or so, until the cops go back to the politicians and say, can we stop now? Can we not do this? Can we reverse this law? That's what's going to happen. We have to keep the pressure up until they reverse the law. But the cops have been ordered to investigate every hate crime incident. Now, the cops are saying they're going to record every incident. That's not the law. The law is they must investigate every incident that's reported to them from April 1st, even if they do not meet the charging threshold. This will tie up detectives from looking into more serious crimes, such as assault and murder. And so be it. This is what happens when morons are put in control. Attempts to find out which offences were not going to be looked into due to this policy were rejected, as it was claimed it would provide criminals with a major tactical advantage. The Daily Telegraph reports that the force is facing claims of secrecy, as it has confirmed that some cases of theft and criminal damage will fall into this category, but they decline to give other examples. They don't want to say, because as they say, if they have a line, then people will go up to the line to commit the crimes. But I would suggest having that line allows people to decide themselves what kind of retribution they can get away with if they do catch someone. It's a weird one, isn't it? It's been estimated that more than 24,000 offences a year will no longer be probed, with bosses insisting that this is not a budget issue, despite following years of SNP government underfunding. Resources are also being utilised to police the new hate crime law, which kicks off next Monday. Now there she is, there's the woman, in the job a couple of weeks, and then she was owned by the SNP. She stole public money, she used police resources unofficially, never repaid them, just to go home, took people away on a dangerous night of a storm, people that could have been helped by that officer, but that officer was busy driving her all the way home because she just didn't want to stay in a hotel down the road. So immediately owned, of course, by the SNP. She's got no say. She's not in charge. Hamza Yousaf's in charge. She's just an obedient servant of the SNP, part of the Gestapo, I suppose. Officials added, Police Scotland do not disclose the detection strategies. We're not asking you for the detection strategies. We want to know the level at which you will or will not investigate. It's an official report, and a number of examples were used to justify the nationwide rollout, including a vehicle being scratched and the theft of garden ornaments. Scottish Tory Deputy Justice spokeswoman Sharon Dowie said, if criminals can be handed a tactical advantage as a result of this policy, then why is it going ahead at all? And quite right too. All crimes should be recorded at the very least. They shouldn't just be ignored. That's the problem. During the pilot in Aberdeenshire and Moray, nearly 5% of crimes reported were directly filed, being no officer was allocated to investigate. It was claimed by the cops that rolling this out across Scotland would free up police time. If you at least record them, you can see the spates and the hotspots of where crime are. And if you're seeing a very similar crime happening a lot, then you know you can target that and catch the crim. Just not me, is it? It's clever. It's how you do things. You don't have to send a man out for something small every time, but you record it, record the location, the patterns emerge. Little bit of intelligence, you know. Oh look, it seems to be happening a lot there. Let's put someone in undercover. Boom, nicked, done. Chief Constable Joe Farrell insisted it would allow more time to be spent on solving more serious offences. Yes, like misgendering or somebody calling someone a name. And he said it would help meet requirements on us in relation to new legislation, that is to say the Hate Crime Act. The proportionate response to crime process is not a policy of non-investigations, he said. Even though it's exactly what it is, they're not investigating. Joe Farrell, you're a liar as well as a thief. Hey ho, what do we expect? SNP policing. Liars and thieves, never mind. Coming up. Now, for any decent cop out there in Scotland who joined the force to try and do some good, to serve, to help people, I feel genuinely very sorry for what's about to happen. You are being used as the pointy end of a very, very long stick that goes all the way back to the hand of Hamza Yousaf. You are going to suffer for it because you're going to get slated for not investigating crimes. You're going to suffer because you're going to spend all day just dealing with hate crime. You're going to then be told that you're not hitting enough targets for investigating real crime, and you probably have your funding cut again. And why? Because an inadequate little man found himself in Butte House, a stupid little man who obeys the rules of the people in the mosque who said bring in a blasphemy act, and he couldn't, but he thought hate act, hey, uncover all bases and we'll do it that way. But he's not very bright, and it's a very bad bit of legislation. And now it's going to come back and bite him. Good. So understand, good policemen of Scotland, it's nothing personal, but you are going to pay for a little while at least. Thank you very much, everybody. I will round off. We've got one more to go today on the long forms. We're nearly there. It's been a long day. Very wide subject. But something light is coming up. Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.